The Game Awards came and went in the blink of an eye. It wasn't necessarily the best show they ever put on, but these are my big takeaways. Tekken 8 wins Fighting Game of the Year before the show even kicks off. The Marvel vs. Capcom collection was a nominee, and given how much it has sold and the coverage it's been given, this was a close call for Tekken 8. In the end, the modern game took the gold. Clyde from Final Fantasy 16 makes his Tekken debut, but I hate it. He's gonna be cool, I don't doubt that, really. But man, this is a bum-ass pick for Tekken. We had Naki's in Tekken 7, and while reception on that was also kinda mixed, Final Fantasy 15 was a massively huge hit when he was released as DLC. Final Fantasy 16 failed its profit margins by being Sony console exclusive, and the PC crowd doesn't care about it. He'll grow on me. But the larger fandom clamored for Tifa from Final Fantasy 7, and I personally wanted something out of the box. But what we got was tradition and a character nobody knows. Helldivers is a cool game, also a bit marred by console exclusivity, but less so than Final Fantasy 16. I understand that the player base is still pretty large, but hype on it died a long time ago. I don't really know how out of the picks here that Fortnite or Diablo lost, but I feel that Sony was paying good money to finance this awards show, given how present PlayStation games have been this year. Astro Bot wins Game of the Year, Best Family Game, Best Action Adventure Game, and Best Game Direction. I like Astro Bot, and I would have bet money that it would win Best Family Game and Game of the Year. Everybody loves a good mascot platformer, and for the first time in quite a while, it's not Nintendo carrying this torch with a Mario title. Virtua Fighter 6 was teased and showed off with a short bouting game with some stellar graphics. Recently, this franchise came back for PC with Virtua Fighter 5 Revolt for Steam. VF has been in desperate need of a new entry for a long time. VF5 released to arcades in 2006, and home ports for Xbox 360 and PS3 came in 2007. This was followed by Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown a couple years later exclusively for Xbox 360 digital download, which gutted some game modes in favor of competitive play. In 2019, VF5 Ultimate Showdown was released as a PlayStation 4 exclusive, and it was a ground-up remake using elements from all releases before it. VF6 undoubtedly will be embraced by the FGC much harder than before internationally, especially with some of the drama involving Tekken 8, regardless of its success. Onimusha is coming back. Onimusha was at a time one of Capcom's premier action-adventure games, in the same vein as Devil May Cry, with a lot of elements that would go on to inspire the Dark Souls franchise. The last game Onimusha received before this was Onimusha 3 for the PS2, but we have since been graced with a port of the first game for current consoles. Onimusha was famous for using real likenesses and also voices of film actors for its main characters. Because of this, re-releasing titles or making sequels has been nearly impossible due to some of the actors, such as Jay and Reno, not allowing Capcom to use their likenesses for future instances. I wonder if they'll get another major actor for the main role, or if they'll keep it grounded this time around. Another big deal game incoming is Turok. I don't know too much about Turok except that his previous title for the PS3 generally wasn't received very well. Yet this franchise is considered to be in the top echelon of the PS1 and PS2 era. I expect big things from this game, and you should too. This appears to be a big year for Capcom, as they announced Okami 2 is currently in production, with game director Hideki Kamiya returning to helm the project. Not much has been given for details on this project, however that isn't stopping the gaming community from rejoicing. Okami was first released all the way back in 2006 for the PS2, and later to big success on the Wii. You can currently find Okami HD on all current platforms, but I think my favorite way to play is on the Nintendo DS. Balatro is a new roguelike card builder game for mobile devices and Game of the Year nominee that won Best Independent Game, Best Debut Indie Game, and Best Mobile Game. Considering these accolades on a debut game for the studio that released very recently, I see a bright future for this game and the devs behind it. Queso wins Content Creator of the Year. That's all. I'm just happy he won, and that this seems like the least rigged selection all night.
That right there just goes to show you, no matter who you are or where you're from, you can wind up doing something that you never thought possible.
Snoop Dogg was the musical guest. I don't have much more to say about that, but it seems to be in part because of his appearance in Fortnite during last season's Battle Royale Chapter 2 remix and the current season of Fortnite Festival. Other games Snoop D-O-double-G was in were Def Jam Fight for New York, Call of Duty, Madden, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, and his very own game Way of the D-O-double-G.
Speaking of a lot of people, why isn't this theater full, huh?
Yeah, we heard you always sell out.
Oh, he got him!